welcome back to day 9. Let's get straight into it. So today's clue was this creature can get away with anything because you'll never find it. So let's see who we're making today. And this one, at the current point in time, it is my favorite of the 12 days. So for day 9, we are making little chameleons. And of course, the clue is in reference to the fact that they can change colour. And this little chameleon is going to take you about 30 minutes to make, start to finish. Okay, I think today is I'm pretty sure today is my favourite of all of them. We're making a little chameleon and he's decided to come out of hiding so you can actually see him. Let's get into tools and materials. So, to make a little chameleon, you'll need 8-ply 100% acrylic yarn in one colour. And I highly recommend variegated yarn for today's pattern because it comes out so fun. But in the past, I've gotten feedback that if I crochet with variegated yarn on camera, it can get a little visually confusing, and I respect that. So today I will be making a plain green one, but you should follow your bliss. You're also going to need just a scrap amount of black and a needle to add the eyes, as well as a 3.5mm hook, scissors, and some stuffing. And just like with all of the other days, I recommend having a stitch marker of some kind or a bobby pin on hand just to help you keep track of the end of your row. But that's it. I'm hoping this is enough. It should be enough. You'll help me keep an eye on these two, okay? They've been nothing but trouble. Even as brightly coloured as they are, they keep trying to escape. Don't forget to stick around to the end of the video for a clue as to who we are making on day 10. Alrighty, so in your chosen yarn, I want you to start with a magic ring of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then in row 2, we're going to work a single crochet, 3 single crochet into the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 single crochet back to the start of our round. So there we go. You should have 7 stitches in your round at this point. In row 3, we're going to be making the eyes. So we start with a single crochet, and then we're going to be working the same stitches we used for the octopus eyes, which are 3 double crochet clusters. So what you do is yarn over your hook, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. So you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. And what that's done is leave you with like this half-formed stitch nub and an extra loop on your hook, as well as your active loop. So what we want to do is repeat those steps until we have 3 of these little stitch nubs on our hook for 4 loops in total. So yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. So that's 2 little nubs and 3 loops. We need 1 more. Three stitch nubs, 4 loops. Then just yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, leaving you with just this little lump that's going to sit on the outside of the head and form the basis for the eye. In the next stitch of the round, we're going to work 5 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then another 3 double crochet cluster. So the exact same way we worked that first one. There we go. 4 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. Then it's just 3 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, and 3. And that is what we currently look like. Row 4 is 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the next stitch of your round should be the middle stitch of the 5 single crochet we put into the same stitch. So the third one. And into it we're going to put 3 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. And then 6 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3 into the eyeball, 4, 5, and 6. And you should be up to 13 stitches in your round at this point. And row 5 is just 13 single crochet around. 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, and 13. I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Row 6 starts with 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to skip the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the 6th stitch from our hook is the next one we're going to work into, and we're going to work 4 more single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what that's done is form the little crest at the top of the head. And we will be sewing that shut at the end. Then in row 7, we're going to start positioning the legs. So we'll start with a single crochet, then 5 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then 2 repeats of 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and 5 single crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're an energetic little guy, aren't you? So that's 1, and again, 2 single crochet, and then 5 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there we go. So in that row, what we did is create the start of the 2 front legs, as well as started curving the back up quite aggressively. That's why he's looking a little triangular. Okay, now row 8, we're building the legs. There's a lot going on, so just bear with me. We're going to start by just working 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going off on a little bit of a side quest to build the first leg. So all into this same stitch, we're going to work 2 single crochet, so 1 and 2. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work 2 slip stitches down the chains we just made. So 1 and 2. We're then going to single crochet into the same stitch of the round again. And then once again, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work 2 slip stitches down those chains. 1 and 2. And then still into the same stitch of the body, 2 more single crochet. 1 and 2. Now, just to recap, what we've done there is we've put 5 single crochet into the same stitch. It's just in between them, we've built these 2 little toes. So it was 2 single crochet, then the first toe, a single crochet, the second toe, and then 2 more single crochet. So now we're going to move on from that one poor little overworked stitch and work 6 single crochet up the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then an increase. And 6 single crochet back down the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In the next stitch, we're going to be building the second little foot. So once again, all into the same stitch. We're going to put 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. We're going to build the first little toe by chaining 3 and working 2 slip stitches down the chains, 1 and 2. A single crochet into our base stitch, and then the second little toe, chaining 3 and 2 slip stitches down the chains, and then 2 more single crochet into our base stitch, 1 and 2 for, once again, 5 single crochet in total worked into the same stitch with 2 little toes in between. Then it's just 2 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1 and 2. So you worked 37 stitches in that row just then, but most of them aren't going to be super relevant again. This is the wonderful Dorito that is our chameleon. He's zesty flavored. All right, row 9. We start with a single crochet. And then we're going to skip 9 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 before the first toe, 5 in between, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 down the other side. So this 5th one down the other side is the next one we're going to insert our hook into and work an increase. 1, 2 stitches in there. That's what that looks like. Then we're going to work 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and another increase. And we're going to skip 9 more stitches. So it's once again 4 before the leg, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is the one between the toes, and then 4 down the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what that does mean is that we aren't working into any more stitches this row, and so we have to look to row 10 to find out what to do next. And row 10 starts with 3 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to pause there halfway through row 10 just to show you what row 9 ended up looking like. So we have these 2 little like bunny ear type shapes on the bottom, and we'll form those into legs. It's really easy, don't worry about it too much. And we have a nicely formed head with a little head crest. He's coming out very lizardy already. So to continue on with row 10, we then work an increase, 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then another increase, and 2 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1 and 2. So the last stitch of our round is falling kind of on one side of this leg at the moment. And it wasn't enough yarn, but that's okay. I have more. Hold on. So row 11 is 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. And now we're going to be starting the back legs. So we're going to put 5 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then 12 single crochet back to the start of our round. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, and 12. So you should have 19 stitches in your round at this point. And in row 12, we're going to be building leg number 3. So we're going to start by putting 5 single crochet all into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that should line up pretty close to behind one of the front legs. So between those 2 massive like increase type stitches, you should be able to see where all 4 of your legs are now. It's good to keep track. We're then going to work 4 single crochet across. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then all in the next stitch, we're going to be building leg number 3. So this is exactly the same process that we used for legs 1 and 2. So we're going to start by working 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Chain 3 and 2 slip stitches. Single crochet into the same stitch. Chain 3, 2 slip stitches down the chains, and 2 single crochet into that base stitch. So once again, that is 5 single crochet all into the same stitch, but with 2 little toes in between. It is then just 13 single crochet back around to the start. 3, 4, 11, 12, and 13. So that's what we look like at the end of row 12. Row 13 starts with a single crochet. Then we're going to build the last little leg. So all into the same stitch, we're going to work 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2 slip stitches down the chains. Single crochet into the same stitch, chain 3, work 2 slip stitches down those chains, and 2 more single crochet all into that same stitch. And for the final time, that's 5 single crochet all into the same stitch, but with 2 little toes built out in between. So after that, we work 6 single crochet along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We skip 7 stitches, 1, 2, 3 before the leg, 4 between the toes, and then 5, 6, 7 up the other side. Working into the 8th stitch from our hook, we're going to work 2 decreases. So that's 1 and 2, then a single crochet, a decrease, a single crochet, and 2 more decreases, 1 and 2. So that brings us to the end of row 13, and at this point we're going to stop and we're going to stuff. So where'd the other lizard go? I told you guys to keep an eye on it. Talk. Tell me where your brother is. Wee. I have not left this chair. We filmed this in one continuous take. Where did the lizard go? All right, so just once again, we're just making sure we get stuffing all the way into their brains. Very cute, very mindful. And then just like give the body some good substance too. If you would like to add additional stuffing after this point, you can feel free to stuff as you go. This is the last formal stopping point for stuffing. Boop. All right, so now we are moving into row 14 and we're going to skip 7 stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3 before the leg, 4 is between the toes, and then 5, 6, 7 down the other side. So working into the 8th stitch from our hook, we're going to work 3 decreases. That's 1, 2, and 3, then 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, a decrease, and 2 single crochet back to the start of our round, 1 and 2, and that should leave us with just 8 stitches around. So at this point we're basically just building out the tail, but because the tail needs to scroll up, it's going to feel like a lot more work than it is. So row 15 starts with 2 decreases, 1 and 2, then 2 single crochet, and a decrease. There we go. So we are down to just 5 little stitches in our round, and we are going to work 12 rows of 5 single crochet around for a combined total of 60 stitches. And finish off. So he's looking a little silly at this point, but we just have a couple of little finishing details that are going to pull him together really nicely. So first off, the hole at the end of the tail. We're going to take our remaining yarn and just pull it through the front loops of each of those remaining stitches. And pull it tight to close and just weave that down inside the tail. like so. And the next thing we're going to do is wrangle these legs because they're looking a little silly and floppy at the moment and we don't like that. So we're going to fix that up. I am just going to grab a big blue plastic needle, but any needle or even your hook will work for this. And you just need to grab a strand of whatever yarn you've used to make your lizard. And for any of you following the 12 days of crochet, this is the same process we've used for the other 8 days. And we are going to basically match up pairs of stitches and then just like lace the front loops together. So let me just anchor my yarn first at the base of this back leg. There we go. So to form this back leg, we skipped 7 stitches. So there should be 3 pairs of stitches before the toes and then 1 stitch in between. So moving my needle back towards me, I'm going to pick up the front loop of the top stitch of the pair and then the front loop of the bottom stitch of the first pair. There we go. So that's 1. Moving on to the next pair, picking up the front loop and the front loop. And 2. Then the front loop and the front loop. And that's 3. And then we're going to find the stitch between the toes. I'm going to pick up the front loop of that stitch and then down into the leg. So there is our first little leggy formed, and we need to do the same thing for the other 3 as well. The only thing to note is that the back legs, we skipped 7 stitches, so there's 3 pairs and then 1 in between. The front legs, we skipped 9 stitches, so there's 4 pairs of stitches and then 1 in between the toes. Okay, so that is all 4 legs done, and we need to do the same thing to the back of this crest as well. And for the crest, we skipped 5 stitches, so it's just 2 pairs, and then the one at the top. As you can see, I'm just literally just doing this with my hook. Then I'm going to grab my black and we're just going to add a little black dot to each one of these clusters just to act as the eye. Chameleons have very like big bulbous green eyelids, but not a lot of their eye is shown and their eyes can actually point in different directions. So you don't even need to be super specific with these dots. Keep them small, keep them relatively round if you can manage it. I'm just making it a point that if, for example, I used 3 stitches on the first one, I'll use 3 stitches on the second as well. Keep them about the same size. There we go. The eyes have been accomplished. That's just what they look like. I could have gone smaller. I went a little bit smaller on the rainbow ones. So the final thing we have to do is take the tail and you roll it under all the way up the body, and we're just going to take a little bit more of our green and sew that in place. I have the luxury of many needles and I'm going to use it. There we go. So I'm sure you by now you can see why this little guy is my favorite. So as close as I'll ever come to owning one, because they are notoriously difficult to keep happy in captivity, and who wants a sad pet? Not I. There we go. He is so much fun in variegated colours though. There you are. I have so many lizards. So there is our finished day 9. And I hope you love him as much as I do, because he is genuinely just the best. Now, I know you're all interested in the clue for day 10. Just hold on one second. So the clue for day 10 is that this creature's mischief can only be contained by the noodles of shame. And for day 10, you're going to need some white and some brown, and it's going to take you about 35 minutes to make. Now, if you think you know what we're making, leave your guesses in the comment section down below, and I will let you know tomorrow in a pinned comment how many people I saw guess correctly. But yeah, I hope to see you there. Okay, bye.